right, in the spirit of time and keeping this short and sweet, I'm gonna get started. So welcome those of you that this is the first practice group, right? We're gonna just do 15 minutes. The goal here is a short and sweet timeout in our day where we intentionally activate certain parts of our brain that have to do with helping us heal and find more consistent mental health. We do this every Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:15, just for 15 minutes. And then after the practice, there's always a Q&A session. So if you want to stick around or some things aren't making sense to you, there will be time for you to ask some questions. Quick reminder as to what we're doing here and why this works. So I love this image of this guy growing his brain tree. Because really what we're doing here is we are growing temporary states into permanent traits. This is one of these laws of neuroplasticity that says that we can intentionally grow our capacity, so our ability, our cognitive and emotional ability, to experience certain states, right? And today we're going to work on the state of the experience of gratitude, for example, but we can do that with equanimity, we can do that with kindness, we can do that with all kinds of desirable states. And as we consistently activate those positive states, over time, we are quite literally installing them as permanent traits in our brain and nervous system, right? So it's like going to the gym. You keep going to the gym and you keep working out and lifting weights. At some point, your muscles and your body will begin to adapt and say, oh, got it. This temporary state of working out that I'm doing every day, I'm now going to convert that into a permanent trait, which means big, strong muscles. So we're doing that on the neurologic level here. So today's Thursday. So we like to focus on Thankfulness Thursday, or Gratitude Thursday. So quick definition of what is gratitude. So gratitude is the embodied experience that accompanies the awareness that we have benefited from someone or something through no doing of our own. So I'm highlighting certain words here because it's really important that the kind of gratitude that we want to practice to stimulate these neuroplastic changes is not just sitting down and writing a big list of things like, I feel grateful for my coffee, I feel grateful for my socks, I feel grateful for whatever. We want to really, going deep is more important than going wide. And so today we are going to focus on what it looks like to fully experience gratitude. And there's a little formula here that I'd like for you to follow. And then I'm going to ask you to you're going to want pen and paper to actually practice this on the call today. So step one here is we're going to pick a person towards whom we feel gratitude. I'm going to say, I feel gratitude towards this person for doing something, right? They did something that we feel grateful for. And then we want to drop into what it is that I was feeling because of what they did. And then the fourth step is because it had a certain impact on my life, needs were met, things happened. So I'll give you an example here for how to write this gratitude note, right? I could say, dear Delilah, thank you for pulling over by the side of the highway the other day and taking the chance and the risk of getting out of your car on the busy highway to come check in on me while I was parked on the side of the road and helping me change my tire, asking me if I needed help and helping me change my tire, right? So those are the specifics of what happened. I initially felt really scared. I felt helpless. I was unsure of what to do. And when you began supporting me and helping me with the tire change, I felt much more confident and safe and incredibly grateful because your actions helped me stay safe. They helped me get home on time to my family. And I was able to see my kids before they went off to bed. And this is the positive impact it had on them, right? So there's a really specific formula for how to write this gratitude note. And it doesn't matter if you get it right the first time. I'm going to set the timer for just 5 minutes. And I would love for you to drop into this state and actually, with your pen and paper, start think of someone who recently did something that you feel gratitude towards. It can be anyone in your life, and can also even just be a memory of something that someone did a long time ago. It doesn't have to be a current one. And see if you can follow this formula for writing and expressing gratitude. So go ahead and you can start writing. So first, think of the person, and then get as specific as you can about what it is exactly that they did. Notice how it felt before they started doing that, during them doing it, and afterwards. And then at the very end, see if you can get really clear on why this was so meaningful or so important to you. And also, if as you're writing it, it's coming out choppy or in bullet point form, that's totally fine. Right now, you're really just trying to capture the essence of this embodied experience of gratitude. Don't worry about it making grammatical sense or even being neat in any given order. It's really just about connecting with the full experience of the grateful feeling that and what's underneath.
Oli, you think we should do this every day, 7 days a week? Hey, Oli.
And also remember, the goal here is this is not an intellectual exercise. This is intended to be something that you feel in your body. So even though you're listing specific facts and noticing certain things, the goal is to really stimulate the part of you that is feeling, because that means that your brain is, those neurons are needing to get activated in your nervous system in order for you to feel something. All right, let's give this another about 30 seconds and start wrapping up. And if you're already finished, you can take a moment and read what you wrote. And again, see if you can really drop into it from a feeling place, more so than from an intellectual or cognitive space.
Hey, Oli, can you hear me?
Yes.
You recommend doing this every day, 7 days a week?
Let's finish this up, and then we'll get into the Q&A in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so most of you should be reading what you wrote by now. And just let it soak in. And notice if you want to make any changes or amendments to it, and feel free to do so. Add in additional words or things that you're noticing. Okay, and then we're almost done. So the next step in this, the extra credit, if you're up for it, we're not going to do this together on this session, but the extra credit is that you actually go and express this gratitude that you just connected with directly with the person that was involved. And you may not be ready for that, or that may feel scary, or may feel really vulnerable. But again, the whole point here is the more we do this, the more we drop into this place of connecting in a really precise manner and stimulating the neural networks that allow us to have the subjective embodied experience of what it's like to feel that open-heartedness and that appreciation and that gratitude. The more we do that, the more this becomes installed as a permanent trait in our nervous system. That's a fundamental aspect of self-directed neuroplasticity is what we're practicing here. So later on, if you feel compelled to do so, go for it. If not, you can just, take it one step at a time. The main thing is that we spent just a few minutes today doing this. I know I wouldn't have been doing this today had I not had this carved out in my calendar and didn't know that you guys were all going to be there. So this is what we're trying to do, is we're just trying to carve out and create some discipline and some structure around these practices. And so I hope this was a useful one. Lastly, if you have any questions, you need support, either around this exercise or want any other kind of support, be it around ketamine or psychedelic medicine, you can set up a session with me. Just go to citclinics.com/Oli, find a time on the calendar and set something up. I'm happy to talk with you. And then also invite your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, anyone you think that might benefit from carving out, 10, 15 minutes a day to do something like this so that they can begin to feel better. Please know that they're invited. So I'm going to pause now. The session is over. It's 12:15, and we're going to shift into Q&A mode. Those of you that are ready to take off, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at the same time, same place for another session. Wish you well. And those that want to stick around and talk some more, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll have a chat.